Now, the left and the dishonest media would have you believe that this material backs up their ideas about Donald Trump collusion, that there was a good faith basis to have there was probable cause to go after Carter Page, and that the courts really weren't misled because they said one of the key source, Fusion GPS and Christopher Steele, may have been political opponents of Trump. Well, that's just dishonest. And I want to read the relevant portion of the material here, so you can judge for yourself. They're online, but I know it's hard to go online sometimes and read documents. It's a big document here, and let me read it to you, and let me see if you can figure out if they're being honest here. Source number one, heavily redacted, blank, and has been an FBI source since blank. Source number one's reporting has been corroborated and used in criminal proceedings, and the FBI assesses source number one to be reliable. This is Christopher Steele, the former UK spy. Source number one has been compensated XXX, redacted, by the FBI. Oh wait, the FBI was also paying. Along with, I guess they were partners with the Clinton campaign and the DNC in paying for this Christopher Steele. It's been compensated by the FBI, there's a blank time, source number one has been compensated, redacted, by the FBI, and the FBI is unaware of any derogatory information pertaining to source one. Source one, who now owns a foreign business financial intelligence firm, was approached by an identified U.S. person who indicated to source one that that U.S.-based law firm had hired the identified U.S. person to conduct research regarding candidate one ties to Russia. The identified U.S. person and source number one have a long-standing business relationship. So who's the identified U.S. person? It's Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS. Who's that law firm? Perkins Coie, the law firm hired by the Clinton DNC to launder money into Fusion GPS to pay for the Russia dirt. The identified U.S. person hired source number one to conduct this research. The identified U.S. person, again, Fusion GPS, never advised source number one as to the motivation behind the research into candidate one's ties to Russia. The FBI speculates that the identified U.S. person was likely looking for information that could be used to discredit candidate one's campaign. The FBI speculates. The FBI knew at the time Fusion GPS was working for the Clinton campaign. Is there anything that I read to you that you could read to suggest that Hillary Clinton and the DNC used a law firm to hire this former spy to dig up dirt on Donald Trump in Russia? Of course not. Anyone who suggests that this was being honest with the court is blowing smoke in your ear. Talk about corruption. And you know who needs to answer questions about this? Rod Rosenstein, who signed off on this as late as June of 2017. Oh, isn't that an interesting date, June 2017? Because it was a month or so after Robert Mueller started. So the Mueller operation is benefiting from this corrupt FISA application where the courts were gamed dishonestly to get secret spy warrants on the Trump operation. And remember, Strzok was there at the time as well. Remember, concurrently, you had spies being sent to the Trump operation to try to ensnare them by the FBI and DOJ. Never before in our nation's history, certainly not in recent memory, have you had such corruption by one government agency, by an administration targeting its political opponent, namely the political opponent being the candidate for presidency of the opposing party. Unbelievable. And what are we talking about this week? Michael Cohen having a tape about Donald Trump talking about buying a story related to a woman who accused him of having an affair with him. This is the story of our time, folks. These documents showing corruption, unprecedented corruption that has metastasized into a special counsel operation that continues to harass this president with no good faith basis. You want to know how bad it is now? It was announced this week through the New York Times. I don't know who leaked it, and I don't know even if it's true, but it sounds true given how outrageous the Mueller operation is. Mueller is in reading and investigating the president's tweets and public statements for evidence of conspiracy or obstruction of justice. How do you obstruct justice through public statements? I guess in theory it's possible. Say I want to get that witness. But the president giving opinions about Comey and whether Sessions is doing a good job, that's obstruction of justice. His tweets are evidence of obstruction of justice. Who is running the Justice Department? It's desperation by Mueller because there's obviously nothing for him to investigate anymore. It's abusive and it's harassment. And I'll say it once, I've said it once and I will say it again. This Mueller special counsel needs to be shut down, pardons issued to Americans targeted by him, and a real special counsel appointed, one who's honest and ethical and reports to the proper authorities and is supervised in a regular way to investigate the corruption behind the current special counsel operation. Remember, and this shows no Clinton DNC dossier, no secret warrants, because the Clinton DNC dossier is central. Andrew McCabe testified. He said no Clinton DNC dossier, no warrant. No Clinton DNC dossier, there would have been no Mueller special counsel as well.